Hello and welcome. My name's Kathy A. And well, I debated doing this or not, but I figured I would go over some of the things since Sephora has started their sale today. A sale of 20% for the Rouge people. That's those of us who last year spent more than $1,000. That all starts today, Friday the 14th. So if you are still a Sephora shopper, I thought I would go over a few of the items that I have purchased at Sephora in the past. I do recommend that, you can get some things that are higher cost that aren't available in other stores. Now you can go to some of these brands' websites during the year and you can find other sales on that, but some of us like that all-in-one shop thing, and we like to get a bunch of different brands in one stop. Now 20% off is 20 cents on a dollar. So, I don't know. I think I've sort of made it clear that, Ulta has great sales, great customer loyalty programs. They have a really nice variety of products, plus they have a hair studio in there. They do have drugstore priced products as well. Now, Sephora itself does have its own line of cosmetics, and I do like several of the lip products. Also, I have the nail products on. The tiny little nail polishes that are Sephora brand, they're 30% off to everybody. You don't have to be even an insider to get that 30% off of Sephora products. They're highlighters. I don't have any Sephora products anymore. I have given them away or thrown them out, or I use them up. So Sephora brand, 30% off. I'd highly recommend those highlighters, some of the lip products, and some of the eyeliners. I think they've got some really good choices there. For tools, this is something that is very underrated, and this is the Cinema Secrets with the tin. This is a brush cleaner, and I'll just do a quick demo because it's an odd thing. It's not always really publicized a lot. Just put a teeny bit into this tin. I have the lemon scented one, which I think is really pleasant. You take a dirty brush, such as this one. I'll be talking about this brush in a minute, and you just kind of wipe it in there and have it absorb up the stuff. And then usually a paper towel or a towel, you can just wipe off all of the product off of that brush. Now what this does is it takes off the product off the brush, it sanitizes the brush. So if you are just using one brush and you want to use different colors, it dries instantly. So it's a lot different than washing your brush in water with soap and all that, which I still recommend you do once a week. But it lasts quite a long time, and you just keep doing it until you go clear on your paper towel and all the products off. So this is the Cinema Secrets, and this is the makeup brush cleaner. On the 18th, if you are a VIB person or just a regular insider, you've just given them your email address, you'll get 15% off or 10% off, depending on your rating here in the caste system that they have. That happens on the 18th for you. Rare Beauty has this beautiful, this is a concealer brush. I think it's $16 normally, so it will be on sale for much less, 20% off. Really, really nice brush. I think Rare Beauty has some beautiful products. I also love their this is their eye primer, which, it really does give you just a very light coating. It doesn't cover a lot of imperfections, but it's just a very light coating. And this is a beautiful, so these two things from Rare Beauty I really like very, very much. I know people are talking about the highlighters and things from there, but I honestly found them to be a little too shiny. So I'm not going to kind of recommend that, but I do recommend the eye primer, the eyelid primer, and the concealer brush from Rare Beauty. Now as far as face primers, I use really good moisturizers, and the face primers that I have are not right now anything out of Sephora, but I do love this from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Hollywood Flawless Filter Glow. Everybody tries to copy this, and I know e.l.f. has a pretty good copy, but it is a very different formulation. It's a very, very nice product to put underneath your makeup, or to give yourself a little bit of highlight or a natural glow coming through. And as we're going into summer, you may even want to go into a deeper color. But if you can get the travel size of this, or get it in a kit with other travel size products from Charlotte Tilbury, it's a good time to buy her stuff, because her stuff doesn't go on sale all that often. For BB creams, now that we're getting into warmer weather and people going outside a little bit more, we should be a little bit more aware of our sunscreen. And whereas some of us may have shirked off on it a little bit during the winter time, I don't in spring and summer. I really do take it seriously. I'm just kind of lazy about it. And I've tried some sunscreens that don't play well underneath makeup. I've had some problems with them. But a BB cream that has a nice tint to it is the Dr. Jart's BB cream. This is SPF 40. This is a beautiful, really nice assortment of colors here too. You get like 3 different shades, but it's forgiving. It's that kind of universal kind of tinting thing that goes on. I got the medium shade by mistake. There is a little bit of that citrus scent to it that's similar. It's also in Ulla Henriksen's products, but I think it's a really good BB cream. And Dr. Jart's has some wonderful and amazing skin products too, so I do recommend the BB cream from Dr. Jart. It's a foundation substitute. You can wear this in lieu of foundation and you will get that 40% coverage. I still would recommend putting a sunscreen underneath it, because there is, if you're out for quite a while outside, this will lose its effectiveness after 3 or 4 hours. So I do recommend that you get a regular sunscreen for underneath. I know that people use Super Goop. I'm using the Play Super Goop one from e.l.f. And I actually like the e.l.f. one better, so I don't have a Super Goop to show you. But that one generally will play well under some makeups, not all, but some makeup. So Dr. Jart's BB cream, really, really nice. It is a little shiny, so you may want to put a tiny bit of powder over the top of it, but it's a very, very nice product. For perfumes, I really love this, and I think it just screams springtime. This is the 7 Virtues is the name of the brand, and it is Blackberry Lily. This has an extraordinary scent of freshness and berries, and there is a little bit of a light floral finish to it. It's a wonderful perfume. It's my favorite. I also love Beach Walk from Replica, and we have Madagascar Vanilla from Nest, and then of course the Libra, which is a very, very pleasant from YSL, the Libra. I know Nisha likes the Libra Intense, but that one actually was a little bit strong for me. I mean, just a little goes a long way. Real long way. Woo! Ooh. Anyway, face sprays, like for setting sprays, or you can use them to fix, like if you want to make your eyeshadow more like a liquidy eyeshadow and have more va-va-voom. Makeup Forever, this is the Mist and Fix from Makeup Forever. It's got a very strong spray. It'll be like, woo! Yeah, woo! Little fire hose thing going on there. Very, very strong spray, but it's very effective, and it doesn't have that scent. Some people don't like the scent to the Charlotte Tilbury, which is most people's favorites from Sephora. This is the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray from Charlotte Tilbury. This has a spice scent to it rather than floral, and it's a very lovely setting spray. I still use it, I still buy it, and I'd say between the two of them, this has a lighter mist to it. The actual mister is slightly lighter. This one's a little stronger, but this gets it done. Get her done, boy. For sure. For makeups, most of my makeup does not come from Sephora as far as foundations go, because I've been disappointed. I've seen too many dry, cakey kind of things. And I did love the Pat McGrath foundation, but I think at $68, it's extremely expensive. Maybe during the sale it'll be nice. I had color number, I want to say 6.5 or 8, I'm not sure. But I started with 9, which was way too dark for me, and then I went down. So, and maybe it's the 7 or the 6.5, but it does lean warm, the Pat McGrath foundation. But in lieu of that, there really aren't any foundations in Sephora that I like. I do like the NARS though. This is the NARS Light Reflecting, and the color that I have in this is Vienna. It's a really nice light serum-y sort of foundation, like a lot of them are this year. We've got a lot of really nice serum-y foundations. I'll be doing a review on my favorite top 10 foundations for 22-23 coming up. I've got like a whole bunch, but the only one from Sephora is this one. So yeah, NARS Light Reflecting foundation. It is on sale for 20% off at Sephora, so I do recommend this. I have no concealers from Sephora at this time. I haven't had any luck, and I know that there have been a lot of changes in my skin, and you know, as I'm 65 now, so I know that there are just more changes in my skin than there were 10 years ago when I loved a lot of the concealers that I found at Sephora, but I'm just not loving anything that I would recommend. So let's move ahead to blushes. Now I love NARS blushes, and I think this particular one, which is called Behave, is one of my favorites. It is very subtle. I'm wearing it now. It's not so subtle on. It looks very subtle in the pan, but it's beautiful, and it's called Behave. He did feature it this year. They had a trio of these. They had a liquid version, a cream version, and a powder version. I don't know why. I don't know his thinking. I'm definitely not in his head for sure. But Behave is my favorite NARS blush, and I think that that is worth going to Sephora for the sale for, if you can get this on sale, because it's very hard to get his stuff on sale. Tying at Sephora for blushes is Hourglass, and you know, Mood Exposure is just a classic. It's more of a natural blush kind of blush. It's not orangey at all. It's very neutral, but I mean, it doesn't look very exciting in the pan, but it is very exciting on the cheeks, and I think it gives you a very nice healthy look, and it's beautiful. I think it does what a blush is supposed to do. It makes you look healthy and vibrant, and I think that that's a really good thing. You can get the smaller size ones, which I believe run around $25, and I think it's worth getting one of the smaller ones. You don't need the larger ones. I don't know if I've ever really gone through a whole big blush. I've gone through these little ones, but not the big ones. And by the time you get through the little one, it's probably about time you get another one anyway, because you know, these are hygiene products. They are not collectibles. They're hygiene products. So when you buy a blush or a lipstick or a foundation or anything, it's not a collectible item like antiques. Some people might find like some of the cases are collectible, and I understand that, and some people like some of the packaging that the makeup comes in. But makeup itself is it's a degradable product, and after a few years, the bacteria in it and just the breakdown of the ingredients make it, you can't use it, you know. So these people with their toolboxes full and drawers full and walls full of makeup, it's just kind of silly. I know they do comparisons, but you can't even really compare a modern day eyeshadow or blush with something that came out 10 years ago, because it's not going to look the same or react the same on your skin, because the products that make it up have broken down over time and bacteria has taken over. So it's not only a bad idea, it's not safe, and it also encourages hoarding of makeup, which is kind of ridiculous. So I have a limited collection, and I'm not saying, you know, they're bad, I'm good. I'm just saying that really we should be having responsible buying, responsible collections of makeup And you can still have several lipsticks and have a good time. You're not going to feel deprived. But I think some folks really should step back and look at what they've got and use what they've got and think, gee, do I really need to buy the newest, greatest, bestest, newest thing? Because that's what's happening. People are just, it was like for a while there, I was crazed. I mean, the second something came out, I wanted to be the first. I wanted to be one of the first people to review it. I wanted to get it right up there. And now I'm finding I keep seeing the same thing over and over again, but it's different packaging, different brands, same colors. And then I see, some of these younger YouTubers talking about their Pat McGrath collection or their Huda Beauty collection or their Natasha Denona collection, and they've got all these different varieties, and then they've got the minis, and then they've got the cream version, and then they've got the special limited edition versions. When you buy a limited edition product, it's for you to enjoy right then, that time, and however long it takes you to use it up, because you can't get it again, which is kind of sad. And if you're a YouTuber, you can't really talk about it because people can't get it after it's no longer available. So it's kind of not a win-win. So I don't know why I'm getting on the soapbox about that, but I think I see it so much it just drives me crazy. I don't know. But anyway, Hourglass, great blush. Also Hourglass, their Veil powder, absolutely fabulous for a setting powder. Really, really good. I just have a little mini, teeny, tiny one. You can get some of them as samples. You can get smaller versions. Just get the travel size when you're trying out new makeups, and you won't be unhappy, because the travel size are really, really nice to have for convenience. They don't take up a lot of space. You haven't invested too much money if you're not that crazy about them. And yeah, Hourglass, the Veil powder. For contour, I do like these contour products. This is the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. This is the number 2. You do have a mirror on this side, and the number 2 is just beautiful. It gives you a beautiful glow. You can use it on the décolleté, on the forehead, on the sides. It's just beautiful. It is a matte format, so you can, if you're very fair, you can use it sort of to add dimension to the lower end of your face and put a blush over top of it. I think it's a beautiful blush. I love the packaging. I feel really girly when I'm using this. I love having this in my vanity because it does bring me joy. So I do keep a lot of my Charlotte Tilbury things because it just is a lot of joy to them. Also for contour, this is the Amber, and there's Mocha and Amber, and these two are just beautiful shades. You basically just put a teeny bit in there, and then you can just blend it in, and it gives you this dimension, this little dimension of cheekbone. So you do have quite a lot of product in here as well. I really love this. Since it came out, I have loved this shade. The Amber shade is more grayish cool tone. The Mocha shade is slightly lighter and slightly warmer toned. So depending on your personal preference and your own skin tone, those are the two colors to pick from the Fenty Beauty Match Sticks. These are contour sticks. For highlighter, this is the Smashbox Calais Contour. This has a little of everything in it. You've got a mirror here, but what's really nice, so you have a blush, you have a bronzer, you have 2 shimmery highlighters depending on your skin tone, and then you've got a contour and a setting powder. This is a wonderful assortment, and this blush is a neutral, very much like Tarte's Exposed. You know, there's a few things that work nicely like this, but to have all of this together is so nice, and you can use all of these on your eyes as well as eyeshadow. So this palette has got to be one of the most perfect palettes, and this is the Calais Contour Palette from Smashbox. Now Smashbox is an old school company. I think they started in the early 1990s. And the guy's a photographer. He was a photograph models. I think I have a Smashbox docutorial somewhere. I'll put it up at the end if I do. But they kind of fell by the wayside because they didn't come up with any new and inventive products. Smashbox recently bought out a bankrupt company, and they started to release the highlighters and things from them. And I think that those have been kind of exciting and brought Smashbox back into the fold, and people realize that this is a gem in Sephora as well, and in Ulta too. But this is a wonderful product. So if you see this, this is fabulous. If you are looking at highlighters, again, this is one of those things that everybody wants to imitate because it's so good. And this is the Charlotte Tilbury Spotlight. Let me just put this here. Very, very pretty. People try to imitate it, but they just don't hit it right. And if they get something close, it doesn't last as long, it doesn't look as pretty, it doesn't blend as well. Charlotte Tilbury's absolutely beautiful. When you're being copied all the time, there must be a reason behind that, which means you may have a quality product that everybody likes. So since it's on sale, it's a really good time to get it, and why not splurge a little. Benefit, legendary brow pencil. Flip side, you've got your spoolie, really, really nice. And you've got the 24-hour brow set. Basically, we'll take your brows up and hold them like a pomade for your eyebrows. Keeps them up and in place. If you have anything that goes a little unruly, this will straighten it out. So these are original. Again, a lot of companies try to copy these, and there's a reason. They're really, really good. From Benefit. Are we getting into eyeliner? For liquid eyeliner, again, it's always the KVD. KVD eyeliner in Trooper, and it's because of the tip on this, the brush on this. You can just control it. You can control it, you can make it thick or thin. It lasts really well, it keeps a straight line, and when you have kind of wrinkly, skinny, flappy eyelids, I have a lot of excess skin on my eyelids, this maneuvers through it quite well, and I can still get a straight line, and I think that's a marvelous thing. So the KVD Beauty Liquid Liner in Trooper. Urban Decay has, I don't know, they're kind of legendary for their eyeliners. This one has the awful color of mildew, it's called, but it's more of a kind of a pretty, let me just show you here if you can see it. It's a beautiful kind of a blue-green color. I'm wearing it now. I really love it. Really, really pretty on the outer, lower corners. Really wonderful. I love Urban Decay eyeliners. I have like a gazillion eyeliners from several different companies, so it's really hard to use them all up, but I do time and time again go back to Urban Decay. If I really need something to work for me to last, these are fabulous. And the color was mildew. I also still have my Dragon's Breath one, which came out with the with the collection for Game of Thrones. It's the only thing that survived next to one of the brushes. I still have my Jon Snow brush. Yeah. I think, you know, Nordstrom Rack was selling these for the longest time, but Man, I wish they would bring this color as a regular color because it's just fabulous. Dragon's Breath, I think it was called. Eyeshadow palettes. From Sephora, there aren't a whole lot. I want to go back to Smashbox for just a minute because back, I don't know, I want to say 6 or 7 years ago, I think this won my best of the year because they had discontinued the Kat Von D Shaded Light palette, and this came out right around the same time. There are a couple versions of this. This particular one is the Minimalist, and the Minimalist palette has a mirror, of course, but then it has these two groupings. One's cool and one's neutral of all these beautiful eyeshadows. I love this palette. It's always been a go-to. It's like a standard basic. It's some classic. And they did recommend this in my online Makeup Academy training. They did recommend that we get this because some of the stuff they were using was discontinued. So, yes, Smashbox, the Minimalist palette, wonderful. Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Sophisticate, and this is a classic as well from Charlotte Tilbury. This has 4 perfect shades. This makes the perfect basic eye. When I traveled from Connecticut to Reno by car, that was like 4.5 days travel each direction. I put this on as my makeup almost every day. I love this. I used another palette as well, but this was like my base palette for everyday makeup. It has a mirror. The colors are perfect for a basic eye. This is one of those, if you don't have any makeup, go grab this kind of a thing. It's proven, it lasts all day, the colors blend really well, they go well together, and you can get a perfect base eye from this. Really good. The Sophisticate from Charlotte Tilbury. From Anastasia Beverly Hills, the Nouveau palette. This is one of their newer palettes. It has some beautiful spring colors, a little pop of purple there. Most of this stuff works really well as a spring palette into summer, I would say. The purple's a really nice pop of color. I don't know if I can do it with this. Let me see if I can do it. Just gonna add it in and give it a try. You never know. See, it's just a pop of color there. Just changed the whole eye look. So, kind of neat, huh? This also has like some duochromes. This is that same old muddy brown pink to blue one. But there's a few other colors in here that are just extraordinary and really nice. It's a very unique palette for Anastasia Beverly Hills. I do like it. I recommend this one. I also recommend an old classic, and this is old school but modern Renaissance. When this came out, I loved it because it has the neutrals in it. You can use some of these purples, even some of these pinks if you have to. But it's got all your basics, your light lit color. It's got transition colors. It's got some deeper colors, red, orange, pink, a little bit of light shimmers. So that's perfect for really jazzing up something. I do have this on the center here. Just add that in. So we'll just add it in. Just a little pop of this or that, and there's a whole bunch of good stuff going on with these. I love modern Renaissance, and a lot of us, have forgotten the gems that are already in our collections because we're reaching for all the new stuff. I got my eye on that new e.l.f. palette with American Eagle clothes with all the denim blues in it and everything. It looks beautiful. It looks great. But I still won't forget my old friends here, and these have been workhorses over the time, and they've proven themselves over time. Now, last year I did get the My Dream palette from Natasha Denona, and I make jokes about how it wasn't my dream palette, but I keep going to different colors in here for usually just to highlight something or to accentuate something. The quality is excellent on this palette. It's got a mirror, of course, but it's got like some of these colors are so unique, and I just will hit one of them every now and then, and it just really jazzes up my look. So I really enjoyed this. Look at this, like, can you see? It goes from pink to green to, yeah. And then we've got this one. It's kind of more of an orangey kind of shade. Woo! You can even, if you want, use it as a lipstick, or you can put it on and put a lip gloss over it and make it a lipstick. So I think this is a kind of a really good palette. And yeah, Natasha Denona quality is renowned. My biggest gripe with a lot of the bigger names like Pat McGrath and Natasha Denona has been the price points. I just think the prices are outrageous. From Tarte, this is my favorite eyelash curler. It's very ergonomic, and also it's very effective. Does a great job at curling your lashes, and it feels soft in the hands, and it doesn't, you don't feel like you're going to get carpal tunnel syndrome. Some of these things have like such a hard handle to turn that it makes it difficult. So it's not as expensive as the Shiseido one, which everybody talks about. That's just because it's a slightly wider eye to it. It's slightly straighter eye. This one is slightly curved, but it's a wonderful all-around eyelash curl. I've had this particular one for about 6 years. I have bought others. What do I see here? I've got this one. This was, I think, a hard candy one. I bought it because it had bling on it, and it was a Marilyn Monroe version. Not as nice. It's just not as nice as this. So, yeah, pay for the quality, because it's a tool that will last. It's lasted at least 6 years, and it's worth it, definitely. So now we're getting into mascara. The Lash Idole from Lancome. I think it's the only mascara in Sephora that I care about right now. I'm using mascaras from the drugstore, and financially, for every 3 months, if I'm going to replace my mascara, I'm not going to spend a week's paycheck on it, okay? Because it's going to be gone. If you can get the smaller version of these, they last just about 3 months, and that's a perfect time. So the Lash Idole from Lancome, excellent mascara, excellent. Moving into lip products, this is the Charlotte Tilbury lip pencil. It's one of the few I have that's kind of high-end. I got rid of most of them. I only have a few left, and most of them are drugstore because they work so well, and I just can't see spending extra money on a lip pencil that isn't really performing for me. Even my Pat McGrath lip pencil mushed down to a cream, and I thought, wow, for the price point, that shouldn't do that. It shouldn't be doing that, and I shouldn't have to keep it in the refrigerator in order to use it. So this Charlotte Tilbury is a perfect lip liner. I have it on today. It's called Iconic Nude, and you've probably heard about this from other people. I really love it, and it's one of the only high-end lip pencils I buy because it is worth it. It's the way it spreads, the way it holds, the way it looks. I think it's a marvelous product. So the Iconic Nude from Charlotte Tilbury is my favorite. Moving into lipsticks, I'll do the oddball ones. Clinique. This is, of course, this is Black Honey from Clinique. This is a classic lipstick because it will look fabulous on everybody. Some people who are afraid to wear a deeper color, it just makes your lips look, let me just put it on. It doesn't look as dark as it does in the tube. It's moisturizing, it's wonderful, it's a great color, and it's just a polished look. It's a polished look. This is from Merit Beauty, and I wish they would expand their color line because they have some fabulous lipsticks. This is called Millennial, and I'll just put it on. Millennial from Merit Beauty. No harmful ingredients were made for this. It is cruelty-free as well. I haven't said that in a while. Yeah. Remember my soapboxing on the cruelty-free thing. This is Merit Beauty's lipstick in Millennial. I really like this. Really wonderful. Nice quality. It's not sticky. Lasts a long time. Feels great. It's a wonderful formula. For other lippies, Charlotte Tilbury. Thusly. I like so many of her lipsticks. I don't even know where to begin. I'll read off what I have. This is Sexy Sienna. Let's see, what can I do here? Sexy Sienna. This is Bitch Perfect. Bitch Perfect. And this one is Pillow Talk. And you can see the difference there between Bitch Perfect and Pillow Talk. And this one is In Love with Olivia. It's her niece. Really pretty there. In Love with Olivia. And this one is J.K. Magic. Or J.K. Rowling. This last one is Dance Floor Princess. And I'll put that up here because it's more of a cooler tone. Dance Floor Princess. These are all beautiful lipsticks. I love the cases. This has a little cheetah print on it. Absolutely gorgeous. I can't say enough about Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. There are a few I still want to pick up, and I may pick up some Charlotte Tilbury at the Sephora sale. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not. For lip glosses, Pat McGrath. Oh, the Nude Venus. Absolutely beautiful. This is a stunning, stunning lip gloss. Nude Venus. It has the vanilla cupcake taste, smell, scent. It makes any lipstick look beautiful. It's beautiful. Pat McGrath, Nude Venus. Now you can buy this in a trio. You get the lip liner, the lipstick, and the gloss. And it's so worth it. And it comes in a little pouch, and it's in the impulse aisle part of Sephora. So look for the Pat McGrath. I believe it's Nude Venus. And this is just so worth it. Absolutely beautiful. So that takes care of my Sephora preferences right now. I'm not a huge Sephora fan right at the moment, but now on a serious note, I did want to give you all an update. I know that maybe a month or so ago I had mentioned one of the viewers, Loretta, Mrs. Loretta, she's called, was very, very sick. She had been diagnosed with lung cancer, and the diagnosis looked pretty severe. She refused hospice in her home. She continued to watch videos on YouTube and comment, and I was so pleased. This past Saturday, she commented, she saw me making the ice cream in the jar, you know, shaking it up in the jar, and she said, "Whole lot of shaking going on." Well, she read your comments, and she wrote to me and told me how touched she was. Very next morning, after she had made that nice comment on my video, the next morning she fell into a coma. She was rushed to the hospital, and And we lost her Monday morning, around 6:30 in the morning Monday this past week. I want to thank you all for your support, your prayers, and it made her last month very, very joyful to read such a support and overwhelming love and good wishes and prayers for her. Her husband was kind enough to contact me to let me know that she passed away. Anyway, thank you again for the love you showed her, and if you'd like to send a card or something to the family, you can email me at my email address, which I always make available at the end of the video, and it's in my description bar. I'll be happy to send you the address. You can send a card of condolence or sympathy to the family. Her name was Loretta Pistella, and she lived in California. And I definitely, truly miss her. Have a beautiful day. Take care. Toodles.